Ryan.
Yanis?
Τι κάνεις?
Is that you?
Of course, man.
How you doing?
I'm fine. It's nice to hear you on Rock FM.
It's good to be back.
Thanks first of all for the opportunity that you give me to take some of your fame and some of your glory to become more famous.
I don't want to be more famous, Yanis.
But I have to be.
I don't think being famous is good for your health. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think, you know, today, it's very strange because we are from the same generation, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we grew up with vinyl and, like, the birth of MTV and everything, but, you know, reality TV and reality everything is taking over, and now everybody wants to be famous, but they don't realize that, you know, being famous is a byproduct of working really, really hard, you know?
And
So I'm not famous, I just work hard, you know?
Alright, but the expectation is it's great, it's huge. You know, on my way over here, I saw some girls waiting outside. They asked me if Brian Molko is going to be over here. I said, no, he's in Thessaloniki because he's playing, he has a gig over there. Tomorrow he's going to be. And they were saying, oh, we just wanted to touch him. You know, it's a way of, the way that a rock and roll star can feel, huh?
Yeah, but I think that's very strange. I think it's personally, you know me. We've known each other for many years. So, you know what I'm like as a person. I find that very strange, you know. I'm not somebody, I'm a regular guy, you know.
Absolutely, 100%, I know. But I have some reasons to tease you, you know.
Pardon?
I just wanted to tease you, just to play with us,
you're teasing me.
Oh, man. Okay, let's talk about music. That is our concern. We didn't have the opportunity to talk about Battle for the Sun, but in my case, it was a nice surprise that suddenly we had a guitar album with a brighter sound compared, you know, the dark side of Mad's album. And I know that you're getting bored easily, so you want to have changes. Yeah. You want to talk to me about me and about it, and perhaps how the next record that is going to be, hope soon, is going to sound like.
Well, every time we make a record, we react very violently against the previous record. So Battle for the Sun is quite relatively a sunny record in comparison to Mads, which was a very, very gloomy, dark, claustrophobic record. So Mads was claustrophobic, then we made something more optimistic. Who knows what the next thing is going to be, but we're going to react against Battle for the Sun, you know, and we're going to do something different. For us, it's very, very important, otherwise we are just making the same song over and over and over again, and for us, it's not interesting. Maybe some of our fans would like us to make the same song over and over again, but we can't, you know? We have to change, and we are influenced by so many different styles of music, you know, mostly which aren't rock music. So we are always looking for a new way, a new angle, a new way to recreate our sounds, you know, to come in, to take everything that is us, but make it different, you know?
In that point, somehow, when you changed the older Steve with the younger Steve, it was in the same way, it was a need for the band to go on?
Well, yes, absolutely, because, you know, before Steve Hewitt left the band, we became a very, very dark band, you know? And something about being in a band with Steve Hewitt was like being in a band with Darth Vader from Star Wars, you know? And he was really, really a sort of a force from the dark side. And we needed a new Luke Skywalker, you know? And we found a Luke Skywalker in Steve Forrest, you know?
I know that you lately, I'm talking for the last years, you're making the one world tour after the other. I mean, traveling a lot. You can stand it really. I mean, even the journalists from National Geographic, maybe they don't travel that much.
Exactly, yeah. You know, even war correspondents or Doctors Without Borders, they don't travel as much as we do. But, you know, I'm very grateful for that, you know, because So it's a difficult time for music today, and I'm very, very grateful for the idea that people still want to come and see us play. You know, it's very important, and it was the reason why we started was just to communicate with an audience. You know, everything else is kind of bullshit. You know, all we want to do is make contact with the people. And people are still coming, and we feel very lucky, you know, and you know, we will continue to do this. You know, it's an old school approach. You know, you take the music to the people like REM or U2 used to do, and that's that. You know, this is the way that you can really connect with an audience. You know.
It's a nice way to. You help me for the next question that I got. I mean. You've been on stage on gigs for the last 15 years. Obviously, you've seen, you know, younger people to follow the older and to be in front and to see, you know, the changes in front, at least at front. It's a nice feeling to see that the followers and how all this thing grows with the audience, with the fans, and the way that your music evolution.
Absolutely, and you know what's crazy, Yanis, is that every time you bring out a new record, there's a new set of 15-year-old, 16-year-old people down in the front, you know? Mm-hmm. And the fans that were with us since 1996, since the first album, they go back a little bit, you know, in the venue. You know, maybe they sat down with a glass of champagne and a cigar or something, you know? But, you know, the 15-year-old kids, they're in the front. And sometimes I ask myself, you know, because I'm 37, you know, and I go like, why am I 37 and I write songs and 15-year-olds understand? But there's a theory that, you know, when you become famous, you stop developing emotionally. So if you're Michael Jackson, maybe you stop developing emotionally at the age of 12. And maybe that makes
absolutely true.
And for me, you know, I became famous in my early 20s, and so I have a little bit of a Peter Pan complex. So I can relate, you know, because I'm very, very immature. And that's one of the wonderful things about being in a band is that you don't have to grow up. You know?
So I don't want to ask you about the time and what's your relationship with time in general. I'm going to say in the thing that I was really surprised when I saw the pictures and the sound playing in Cambodia in front of this ancient Buddhist temple.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just the music. Later on, I found out that it was you did all this for another goal, for another purpose. It was for slavery and human trafficking, etc. And something you're going to go on right here.
Well, absolutely. You know, at any point in time, Yanis, you know, 2.5 million people are being kidnapped and sold into slavery all over the world. You know, right now, as we're talking, there are 10 million slave children in India. Yeah? And the whole point of what we're trying to do is trying to raise awareness so that young people, people who are 13 to, you know, late teens, they don't have to fall into the same trap, you know? Because basically the people who are trafficking humans, they are criminals. They're criminals, you know? They are basically criminals, and they have no respect for humanity and for the value of human life. And for us, as you know, as human beings, you know, Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery in America, you know, institutionalized slavery hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And what's ironic is that we still live in a world today where slavery exists. And this is what we're fighting against. And this is what we want to teach people to not fall into.
And finally react,
you know?
Of course. I know that all this in some ways affects you and somehow maybe in your sound too. Considering songs now, I was always going to do this question and I say it on the over here in Rock FM. I want sometimes, I know that you're bored or if you're playing the same thing all the time, but sometimes I need to listen to the original tracks in the original way, the way you played it or when you first played it, and not in the cover way. Would you maybe do that once?
Which song?
I mean, anyone from Every You, Every Me, or, I know that you want to change it in a way because you find it that, very...
We're playing, at the moment, we are playing Nancy Boy.
Yeah, this was a good surprise. Incredible surprise. Huge
It's a surprise for me as well. And I'm like, do I really want to play this song? Okay, let's play this song. Wow, that's actually quite interesting. And for me, it was important that I had a 5-year break from Nancy Boy so that I could play it again. It was actually quite exciting. And we have, yes, not the same versions, but we have reinvented many songs now from our first album, and we are playing them. And so you have to meet us halfway. We need to change things every now and again, just to make it work for us. And we hope that for you, the audience, it's going to be new and exciting. It has to be new and exciting for us.
It's all the time. Believe me, it's for us. And it's for us. Well, how did you feel that suddenly there is a recognition for Placebo and you won an MTV award for the best alternative band?
Well, I thought it was quite amazing after 15 years
That's what I'm saying.
being in a band and being an alternative band to finally get that kind of recognition. It was a vindication, and it was really cool because, so many people wanted to say, no, they're old news. Placebo is old news. They've been around for 15 years. It's old news. And, but, the public who voted for the MTV Awards, obviously think that we're not old news. And, it gives us a lot of strength and, a lot of confidence for something like that to happen.
So it's a nice thing. Maybe we can smile about it, but it's a good thing. Even if that's a kind of recognition, okay, for the 15 years in a major way. Another thing, I'm sure that you are from the musician that I appreciate the way that they listening what's happening around the world, and musically, of course. I know that you have an instinct. What is the best thing that you've heard lately from other bands?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. The new Uncle album, I think, is very, very good. And but at the moment, I am very much inspired by music which is influenced from the psychedelic 60s. So I like bands like Black Mountain, the Black Angels.
The Canadian Texans, yes.
Beautiful. But also I think, at the moment, one of the best bands around is the Double X.
Double X, yeah, of course, the British, the three guys. The 20, they're very young guys.
They're amazing.
Crystallized, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, what a song,
yeah, for sure. That's why I'm saying.
There's a lot of interesting music there, but people are not. The interesting music is not the music that conforms to the mainstream. And so I think music is healthy today.
Let's hope so, and it can be healthy for the musicians too, if they can survive, or the way that discographies now works, or the legal download works. Anyway, it's a big issue.
It's an important thing to stress. Like, if you love music and you love a band, you have to buy their music. Otherwise, the band will have to go be a taxi driver. So please, if you love music, buy music.
Okay, last message for the fans. You're coming tomorrow. What are they going to expect from the Placebo show?
We're going to make a very big, very emotional show, which has a lot of the new albums, but also all the greatest hits. And we're going to have some really, really cool visuals. And what we are going to do is we're going to go on stage, and we're going to go on stage with passion. And we hope that you meet us as an audience halfway there. And if that happens, then we can make magic.
Cool. I believe in magic. You know that. And I believe in you. It's always nice to talk with you, Brian. I'll see you tomorrow. I will be very early to talk with you, to enjoy you, and afterwards, all the best. See you tomorrow. Γεια σου, Brian. Ευχαριστούμε πολύ. Γεια σου.
Thank you, Yanis.
Γεια σου, Brian.